This week on the Trent Out Loud Podcast.
How are women allowed to drive?
This is who y'all are defending in the comments.
If she even talks to a dude, it's cheating.
Would you agree that the smartest thing a woman can do to prevent rape is not to sit here on a podcast and try and change the way men think and talk about your bullshit, but to take some degree of personal responsibility and not put herself in dangerous situations?
Stop celebrating this man. Stop writing Top G. So, Andrew Tate and his brother has just been released from jail and been placed on house arrest. And of course, all across social media, people are rejoicing, free top dog, and I can't understand it. For the life of me, I cannot figure out how this man has garnered so much support. It's ridiculous. I think he's like the top 10 most Googled men in the world. And I can't understand it. Every time I talk to somebody about Andrew Tate, and I know a lot of my friends that are Andrew Tate supporters, I have my godsons who are Andrew Tate supporters, friends, I don't understand it for the life of me, and I get into huge arguments about it all the time. One of the top things that I get back are, oh my gosh, people are lying. Oh my gosh, Andrew Tate never said this. Oh, he never said that. So one of the first things I did is I jumped online and I wanted to see for myself, not an article, not a caption, not something that somebody said that he said. I wanted to get video and see this man actually say these things. And here are 6 things that I found online.
And I sat there and I thought, how are women allowed to drive?
I sat there and I thought, how are women allowed to drive? There's no context to that. There's no, and of course, it's an interview. There's 5 minutes before and 5 minutes after. There's no context or there's no way to explain that. How are women allowed to drive? The fact that this man is thinking and grouping all women together and saying, how are women allowed to drive? I don't need to play any other clips. That alone should discredit this man. And another thing, I get really worked up about Andrew Tate. Another thing is as I play this, and as I play the other clips, please, all of us have moms. So all of every clip that I say when he says woman, think about your mom. If you have a sister or if you have an aunt or guys out there that have a daughter or a niece or any female, just replace the word woman with the woman in your life, your mom, your wife, and then maybe you'll process things a little bit different. Let's get to the next one.
If a woman is going out with a man, she belongs to that man. That's his woman. So she wants to do OnlyFans. She owes him some money because she's his. It's not about being property. It's about the fact that she belongs to him and the intimate parts of her body belong to him because they're in a relationship. And if she wants to sell those, he has a stake in those intimate parts of her body.
So it's reverse. A male porn star owes the woman.
I don't know, because I think the women belong to the man. I think the woman's
given that's inherently where you get called sexist for.
Oh my gosh. Her parts belong to him. And if she wants to sell those parts, she has to give him part of the money because parts of her body belong to him. That's what this man said.
A man can only cheat if he loves someone else. If I have a woman who I truly love and I go out and fuck and I come back to her and I don't care about her and I only love my girl, that's not cheating. That's exercise. If she even talks to a dude, it's cheating.
Oh my God. A man having sex with another woman while he is in a relationship is exercise. Now, I'm not getting into the men and women and cheating or whatever. That's a whole other thing, but it is what it is. You're cheating or you're playing her or you got multiple women, but you can't say that it's exercise. Again, you have to look at things plainly here. Don't get caught up in the cheating aspect of it. Get caught up in the fact that he's not even intelligent enough to say, yo, I have a girl and I cheated on her, or I have a girl and I'm telling her, look, I want to be in a polyamorous relationship, or I want to be with other women, or say, hey, you know what? I'm dating you. Just want to let you know I'm dating other women. That's a totally different conversation. But this man is so delusional that he doesn't even think when he's in love with somebody that if he's having sex with another person and that person doesn't know that that's not cheating, for him it's called exercise. This is who y'all are defending in the comments.
If I have responsibility over her, then I must have a degree of authority. If I have responsibility over a child, I have to have some authority. You cannot be responsible for something that doesn't listen to you. You can't be responsible for a dog if it doesn't obey you.
You cannot be responsible for a dog if he doesn't obey you. This is his comparison and his analogy when talking about his wife or girlfriend or somebody who he loves. I don't even have to explain that one to you. I don't even have to break that down.
Whereas a 19-year-old might have had one guy from high school, just broke up, she's fresh, and I could put my imprint on her.
She's fresh? I could put my imprint on her?
The reason 18 and 19-year-olds are more attractive than 25-year-olds is because they've been through I'll say this right here on the internet. I don't give a shit.
18 and 19-year-old girls are more attractive because they've had less. Like, that's just disgusting. If you want to say, wow, I would prefer a girl who's had less partners, just like a woman could say, wow, I would prefer a man who's had less partners. Again, that's totally fine. You have a right to decide whom you want to be with. But when a grown 35-year-old man says that about an 18-year-old girl that just became legal, then that's sick, bro.
Would you agree that the smartest thing a woman can do to prevent rape is not to sit here on a podcast and try and change the way men think and talk about your bullshit, but to take some degree of personal responsibility and not put yourself in dangerous situations?
Okay. This rape thing has been all over the internet, and guys have always tried to defend this, and it's absolutely ridiculous. There's no context to that comment. There's no explaining it. There's no trying to make sense of it. Saying that a woman needs to take some or part or even a fraction of the responsibility for rape is disgusting. Like, it's just disgusting. Don't try to make sense of that comment. Don't. Like, there's context and there's analogies, and you could try to do that. As a favor, don't ever try to give context to that, and don't ever try to explain that, because those comments should never be said regardless of the context, period. We're talking about rape.
Am I a bad person? Because the more you didn't like it, the more I enjoyed it. I loved how much you hated it. Turned me on. Why am I like that? Why? I am one of the most dangerous men on this planet. Sometimes you forget exactly how lucky you were to get by me. Would you rather me pin you down and make you do things you didn't like, or would you rather you didn't like that I was thinking I can do whatever I want to? That's what it is. I'm the smartest person on this planet. Are you seriously so offended I strangled you a little bit? You didn't pass out. Chill the out. Jesus Christ. I thought you were cool. What's wrong with you?
Okay, so now after you hear those 6 things that are literally out his mouth where you could see it, there's video, and those who are watching or listening on a podcast and you want to watch it, you can go to YouTube and you can actually see him say those words. I have video of them. So now that you've seen those 6 videos and you heard that one voice note, there are still people that defend this man. And I can't for the life of me understand. So I called up somebody who I know that is a Tate supporter, and I asked them, like, what is it about this guy that you like? What is it about him that you think is cool that makes you want to follow him? And this person said to me, it's his lifestyle. Like, he's a guy's guy. He's an alpha male. And I'm an alpha male. I totally understand that. I get it. Man, I want to make money. I hustle. I have a national brand. I have cars. I have a big house. Like, football. Like, I get the alpha male. I get it. Michael Jordan, Tiger Woods. You know what I'm saying? Like, I get that. I get the bravado. I fully get it, bro. Like, Lambo, I get it. Bugatti, I get it. But don't you want to follow somebody that gets those things in a respectable manner. That's what I don't understand. Like that, I get people liking, a rapper's lifestyle or wanting to be an NBA player. Like I get having Michael Jordan as your idol. Like I understand that. I don't understand how a man who says these things about women is the guy who you look to as your alpha male. And then I brought up the point of how he makes his money. And this is kind of a touchy area because it's not illegal what he does. And I have a clip so that he can explain to you how he got started. But anyways, I'll play the clip first.
I was sitting there after I retired from fighting and I thought, I need to get rich. I had all these girlfriends. I had girlfriends in France, Slovakia, Germany, all these hot chicks. And they thought I was the big millionaire world champion, right? They thought I was living in London with a Ferrari and I'm still texting them and they thought I was living the big life.
Damn.
So I was like, well, I could open a strip club, but that takes money.
Mm-hmm.
I need overheads, I need money. How can I use these women to make me money? I don't want to put them on the track because they're my women. I don't want other people touching my chicks.
Mm-hmm.
And by coincidence, I'm just Googling things up and I discovered this webcam website. And I'd never heard of webcam before. This is a long time ago as well. It wasn't as big as it is now. Now everyone knows about OnlyFans, all this shit. Like 8 years ago, 7 years ago, whenever this was, it wasn't nearly as big. And I found this little webcam thing and I was like, this might be some money. So I text all my girlfriends, I think it was 5 of them, text all 5, said, you're all coming here to live with me and work with me. I need to get paid, right? I'm broke now. I'm retired from fighting. I have no money. I'm running out of money. So I put them all around the same table and I was like, look, we're going to start a webcam business. You're going to stay. You're going to live in London. Long story short, 3 left, 2 stayed. Those are my first 2 girls. And we started this little webcam business from my apartment. And it just grew and grew and grew. And it got to the point where at one point I had 75 women working for me in 4 locations.
So there you have it. So Andrew Tate was broke. He made all of his money, all of his millions, and got his Bugatti and all of that stuff from having women do webcam, sell themselves, and give him the money. Now, again, some people are like, yo, that's pimping. Listen, if you have a legal business and these women legally come here and sign up and do these things and are paying him and he's providing a service for them, that's not illegal. If you voluntarily do that and he helps promote you and he helps put all your stuff together and you guys split your money, that's legal. Again, he hasn't been charged, so you cannot say that he forced anybody or he's done human trafficking. We'll wait till he goes to trial and we'll wait to see what his charges are and if he gets charged. And just to be clear, he has not been charged yet. But let's put that aside. Let's get back to looking towards a man, an alpha male that you want to be led by. Knowing that this guy was a kickboxer and broke and called up a bunch of girls and said, yo, let's do webcam. I'm just saying, like, I just think there is some other men in the world that we can look to look towards and to look up to as our alpha males, as our leaders. That's all I'm trying to say. So I guess in conclusion, what I'm trying to say is I particularly don't respect the webcam. Let's bring these girls together, have them sell their bodies, sell their whatever, and I'm going to take a cut. It's just not something that I want to look up to. And that's not my version of an alpha male. I get the lifestyle. I get guys looking and saying, yo, that's the lifestyle I want to live. I get that. There are hundreds of men that are living a far greater lifestyle and a more profitable lifestyle that are not encouraging women to sell their bodies on web cameras and give them a percentage. Again, not knocking women that are selling themselves on webcams or on OnlyFans. All the more power to you. I actually want to do a podcast with somebody about that. But the thing that I love about OnlyFans is that it takes out the danger element and it takes out the pimp element. That's the empowering, that's the amazing part of where I think women can go in the sex industry now. You're taking the man out of it that is threatening you, pushing you, and taking part of the money for actually really doing nothing. But again, that's another podcast for another day. So where was I? So The webcam business, now you know that's how he made his money. The lifestyle is a bunch of other people far more profitable than the Tate brothers and Andrew Tate with lifestyle. And another thing that my friend said, that why he thinks he didn't necessarily believe this, but he thinks that, and I think this is really what it is too, is that, and this is why people like Trump, is that he says things that you might think in the back of your head and you don't say it out loud. And the reason why I compare that to Donald Trump is that I think Donald Trump was the first person to, he's not the first person, but the first person in recent times to say these outlandish things and garner support for it. And I think that's why you're seeing the Andrew Tates, or even in Canada, Chris Guy, who I interviewed. They're saying these things to get the social media, to get the hits, to get the likes, with no regard of how they're influencing and affecting other people and other people's lives. So while Andrew Tate is here saying all these things that, you know, some guys might want to say but don't say, and are that are afraid to say, and that might think, but and you're like, yeah, he said it, yeah, he's cool. Just know that all those hits and all that stuff, that's money going in his pocket, and you're the one who's losing, right? So just be careful the type of energy that you put out there that you're going to get back. So the things that he says, I think are not that he doesn't believe them, because I think he does believe them, but the reason why he's putting it out there is for the clickbait and to garner attention, because he knows the more attention and the more clicks and the more times you search his name is the more money he can get. So there you have it. There's 6 videos of Andrew Tate. You hear and see him. You have voice notes that are confirmed to be him. I've also given you another video to explain how this man has made his money and gotten his Bugatti. If you take all of these things together, is this the man that you want to celebrate? Is this the man that you want to look up to? Is this the man that you want to have your son look up to? Is this the type of man that you want to look up to? And most importantly, to all the guys out there, is this the type of man that you want your mother to marry? Is this the type of man that you want your daughter to marry, your niece to marry, your sister? Think about the woman that you love and think about if you want this man in their life. And if you don't, stop celebrating this man. Stop writing Top G under these comments and let his case be his case, whether he's guilty or not guilty. But I really hope that I really hope that this will at least stop some sort of support for this man, because it's utterly ridiculous and I can't understand how he can garner close to this amount of support. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. It's your boy, Trent Out Loud. Peace!